Sanbonani, greetings and welcome to this video about you and UKZN. This is part two of the series, which focuses on you and the online learning experience. Okay, right, let us get on with it. Right. The first thing we'll look at are some of the common challenges that are faced by first-year students in the university setting. Right. Many students struggle with the issue of identity where they are trying to find themselves. Uh, some students who are coming from outside KZN, they have some struggles because they have to get used to the new language and the new environment. Some students do struggle and they miss their homes. They get homesick and they feel alone. For some students, this new freedom of being able to live your life, live at rest, without any parent following after you, can be too much. Another problem that many students face are the issues of finance, where they may struggle managing their finance. A serious issue is when students, because of different reasons, finding themselves choosing just any degree where they get accepted in, whereas it's not really what they want to do. Another common problem is students struggling to manage the academic demands in a new setting. Some students, they were very smart in high school, they were getting A's and everything. So maybe they come with that thinking and with that attitude. And it's a culture shock when their confidence is deflated because the environment, the university environment is different and how things are done is a bit different. And the marks they were getting in high school, they're not getting them as much. Okay, but we'll get in details with most of these issues as we go along. Right. From high school to the university, it is not the same. Here, there is a lot of independent learning and there are new teaching styles. And there is no teacher to follow after you to check if you have written your work, you have submitted, sending letters to your parents or anything like that. And issue of time management is very critical because for some, they could find themselves having too much time, or some, they'll think, oh, I don't have time, there's so much to do. The most important part is the issue of culture shock, where we spoke earlier about this freedom that they are now exposed to. There's nobody to follow after you. You can go party, you can do whatever you like with your time, and which can be too much for others. Right. And this important issue of balancing your personal social life with academic life. Yeah, it can be too much. Some can socialize too much and limit their time um, on their books. But for some, they can work too much and don't have time to socialize, which is also important. You need to have a balanced life. Right. This issue of language, uh, each module will have a specific um, language that relates to it. And for some students, that can be a bit of a shock, but with time, we hope that you'll get used to it. Here, you will need extra support. It's just part of how things work. You will need to consult. You will need help from the peers. You will need help um, from your tutors. So please do speak out. Don't keep silent when there is a concept you have not grasped. Right. So in trying to help you to get to your goal of being a successful graduate, here are some of the tips on your journey. Please attend all the orientation events. This time around, they will be online. Ask for credible help when you hit bumps along the road. And you will find this credible help from your support staff, from your peers, your mentors, and friends. We can never overemphasize this point. Study consistently, not only when you have an assessment, and then manage your time wisely. Stay positive. There will be times where you will not feel like attending, but we urge you to drag yourself and go and attend. Beautiful people, please stay true to yourself. You know where you come from. You know your home, where your home environment. You know the expectations that your parents have about you and the expectations you have about yourself. So don't let the freedom and everything you find in the varsity environment move you away from who you are. There will be a lot of independent learning, especially as we are online. But each module will have a course outline where sections to be covered will be outlined clearly, and you will, in that outline, you'll get the contact details of the lecturers responsible for specific sections and the due dates for tests, assessments, and different assessments, and the prescribed books that you will need. So make use of that to plan and to keep track of your work. We'll talk more later about using weekly planners and monthly planners, but keep track using the course outlines. And make use of consultation times. They are also available on the course outlines, and use the available academic support. And if you feel like you are not managing because of many different reasons, please seek counseling. We'll get the details later of how you can consult us. Right. Each year at Student Support, we focus on different themes, but in the past we have focused on drug abuse, pregnancy, and other issues. But this year we are focusing on enhancing the online learning experience. Right. Here are some of the potential challenges with remote learning. This has been experienced by some of the students who are your seniors last year. Infrastructural challenges where there's poor connectivity and the issues of load shedding, where they have tests and they have assignments and things due. Again, this calls for the importance of organizing your time very well. Right. So in the university environment, it's easy to have friends around who can support you, but when we are learning online, yeah, you may find yourself like you are isolated from your classmates and maybe from your staff, which is not necessarily true because you can consult them and you can chat with your friends. The biggest issue is around the conducive environment. We do not choose our families, and some of our families do not have the facilities to support online learning, don't have so much space, and don't have all the resources to make it more conducive. Right, but here are some of the tips that we think you might use and they might come in very handy. It's very important to plan and have good time management skills, especially with remote learning, which will call for you to have a clear plan of how you manage your studies on day-to-day basis. We went as far as recommending to some students to have a timetable, put it on a fridge where even family members can see it so that they will not disturb you on those times, that they will know that so and so is busy at these times. Consult for support. Engage your lecturers, engage your peers, speak to counselors if you're having difficulties. We can see what we can do to support you. Please, this is very important, good people. Be disciplined with your resources. You will be giving laptops, especially those who are NSFAS funded, and all students will be receiving data. But please use your laptop for work purposes and use your data for work purposes, because um, along the month, students will complain that we have run out of data, whereas they were abusing it. Right. So moving towards the end, time management is everything. Life, time is equal to life. Therefore, waste your time and waste your life, or master your time or master your life. This is a quote by Alan Layton. Right. You are expected to do at least 3 hours of work every day outside of class time, 7 days a week. So this equates to 21 hours a week. That includes Saturdays and Sundays. Right. So now this is the part I like. Please have weekly planners where you know on this particular time, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yes, some days you won't be able to manage it or to keep track because of certain things that might come, but consistency is the key. Right. Quickly, some threats to effective time management. One is perfectionism, where you'll try to get things perfect before you move on to the next. That will waste your time, will cause things, your work to stack up, and you won't be able to finish your work. Oh, the common one for both of us, procrastination, putting things off until the last minute. Yeah, this is a real killer. And lastly, poor planning. Yes, this is a problem, but we hope you will be able to manage it well. Right. Okay. When we try to summarize this idea or this theme of time management, um, let us begin by looking at these 4 blocks. The first one, please schedule your time, use time planners, and please prioritize, because there will be many things that will try to draw you away from your work. So please um, keep prioritize, and what is important, begin with that. And then have a to-do list, have a long-term plan like a weekly planner or like a monthly planner, um, and deal with procrastination and perfectionism or poor planning, and deal with distractions. Oh, this is very important. Organize and manage yourself and manage your environment. Um, yes. And then lastly, there will be times where things are hard and you do not feel like working, but we urge you to keep motivated and to keep working, to stick to your goal that you have set for yourself, to be disciplined. And some of the things that you can do to fight off procrastination, especially, is reward yourself when you have done um, your work as you had planned to do. Buy yourself chocolate, buy something nice for yourself, or go out, celebrate some minor successes that you have done, especially when you have been able to manage your time well. Right. Moving on now to start the skills. Um, right. We will now talk about things like SQ3R, but we'll get into that in details. Right. At university, we said the university is very different from the home environment. At university, the emphasis is on self-responsibility and self-management. You will need to create your own study framework, organize your time, and prioritize different tasks, because nobody will do this for you. your siblings and your family members are at home. They can only check up on you, but it is up to you to do this. Right. In a nutshell, study skills, they involve quite a few things, but we like to look at them in this way. Um, there is time for eating, for gathering the information, which we'll speak about note-taking skills and memory skills. But we hope as the year progresses, you will attend some of the workshops we'll be having on such topics that will be online, hopefully. Please do attend, where these things will be discussed in detail. But yeah, in summarizing, eating, where you are gathering information, digesting, where now you are processing information using SQ3R, using your memory skills, and then now the action part, where you are doing essay writing and you're doing exams. But all these things, they fit to how you are managing your life, how you are managing your time, how you are managing your finances, and how you are managing stress, because you will find yourself having a lot to do, and that could make or break you. How you are staying motivated. So manage your life, and then you will be able to manage your study life. Right. Maybe in short, what this SQ3R stands for, stands for survey, questions, read, recite, and review, where you will first just survey where you will be looking at the topics or subtopics of the work to be covered, where you'll be looking at like the first sentences of the paragraph if your work is not based, and then you ask yourself some questions after having surveyed, and then when you read, you are trying to answer the questions you had made while you were surveying, and then after having read, you recite the answers and then you review everything. Self-golden rules. Don't fall behind. Don't fall behind. With your notes, make sure that you, if ever there's something that has disturbed you, you make sure that you catch up and then you understand as you go along. If you find something hazy, find some explanation. Don't delay. Don't delay. Seek help from your fellow students, from previous students, or your lecturers and tutors. Do it now, please. Do it now. Do not procrastinate. Go over your lecture notes, avoid excuses, do it immediately. We said that there will be times where you will be lacking motivation, but we urge you to try and work as consistent as possible. And please do not give up. Do not give up. If ever you feel like you're giving up and you have tried everything, come to us and then we'll try and support you. Lastly, live a balanced life. Schedule time for your social needs. You are a social being. You need to interact with other students. You need to find time for yourself. Balance work and play. Plan ahead and then reward yourself. And never forget to prioritize. Never forget why you are doing what you are doing, why you came here. Budgeting. This is very important because failure to budget will mean that you will be stressed towards the end of the month because you may not have enough food, or if there are resources that you need, you won't be able to have them because you don't have money. So please try and budget. But in the next slide, we'll discuss this in detail. But maybe before we get to that, there is a big difference between what you need and what you want. Right. So you need this. Okay, you need food. Maybe you do not need such things as much as you thought you need them. But you need to keep abreast of everything. Yes, you need phone because, but be careful of how much time you are spending on your phone. Right, so this is what I was talking about. Please have a plan, budget. No, this is my income, maybe from my meal allowance, maybe from the pocket money from home. If you're receiving a bursary, this is the bursary I'm living. If you're having a side job or a side hustle, as you young people call it, refer to it, you can put it there and then have a subtotal and then have and list all your expenses and then put a total and then say, okay, the subtotal of the income minus the subtotal of the expenses, and then you get an idea of how much you have left or of how much you might overspend. So please do this. This will help you. Great. So thank you so much for watching, and please look out for the the part about look out for the third part of our series, which I think will be focusing on mental health. Thank you so much for watching.